Hold up here. Okay, guys. So, today's been a big day in the Vikings world. It's been a big day in Vikings world. This morning woke up to the news that they are releasing Adam Thielen. He is no longer part of the team. That's a hard one to swallow. Hard one to see happen. You know, he's been part of the team for 10 years now, and a big part of my childhood. I've watched him growing up and being a Minnesota kid and the hometown hero. It's a hard ending to watch when you see a guy like that be released. You know, you'd hope a guy like that could play out his entire career in Minnesota and retire a Viking, but obviously with the contract and how things work out in the NFL as a business, just didn't work out. So I'm really hoping that he can go to a contender and play with a great quarterback and get a Super Bowl. So I'm really hoping for the Chiefs. I'd love to see him go to the Chiefs or go to like the Jaguars or the Broncos or the Bills. Go to one of those contending teams and be like either that second wide receiver for them. Maybe not the Bengals. Bengals already have enough. If they trade T. Higgins, that would be another good one. Maybe the Browns. That happened this morning. They released Eric Kendricks earlier this week. That was another tough one to see go. He's been a really big part of this team for the last 9 years, I believe it is. And then this afternoon, there was more rumors of them potentially releasing Harrison Smith as they're trying to rework that contract, but it looks like it might end up being a release for him. There's rumors of them trading Dalvin Cook. I don't think they're going to trade him, but there is talk of it. At this point, I think he's going to come back. And then they also released Cameron Dantzler this afternoon, which was a surprising one. But it's not one where I'm like, oh my gosh. So there's a lot of change happening right now in Minnesota. And then, the biggest one I forgot, Zadarius Smith asked for his release. He went to the team and asked for his release because he's not being paid enough. You know who signed the contract? Zadarius Smith. Maybe if you thought you weren't being paid enough, you should have negotiated a better contract. But you signed the contract that you're currently playing under. What right do you have to go to the Vikings and say, release me, I'm not making enough? When you just, not even a year ago, signed this contract. It's pathetic. Honestly, at this point, I don't want a guy like that in my locker room. I don't want a greedy guy who just is all about money. I want to trade him. So, at this point, let's just trade him. We can go out and sign another edge rusher. I see the Rams just released Leonard Floyd. We can go sign him. Or go sign like a Robert Quinn. Or get another edge rusher. But let's just trade Zadarius. Go trade him for like either a 4th round pick or something. Another idea I really like is trading him for Courtland Sutton. I don't know if the Broncos would be down for that. I know they're looking for another pass rusher. I heard they were shopping Courtland Sutton. So maybe Zadarius Smith for Courtland Sutton. That could be something that we're going to... Maybe even Dalvin Cook for Courtland Sutton. I doubt they do that. So it's just a lot of change happening in Minnesota at this point. I think we're still looking at being competitive in 2023, but we're probably looking like a 9-8 team. We still have our solid pieces in place. We still got Jefferson and Hawkinson. We got Darrisaw and O'Neal at left and right tackle. And then we got Cousins, of course, coming back. Or it doesn't sound like they're going to extend Kirk, but oh well. So he's going to play out his contract. So next year we're going to go into 2024 with a lot of cap space. So I don't know what we're going to be doing at quarterback then. I don't know if we're going to draft somebody this year. I don't know if we're going to extend Kirk then. If Kirk is going to be our quarterback beyond this year, we need to extend him now because you're obviously going to get the best value the sooner you do it. Because if we're going to sign him to an extension after next season, we're going to pay probably $5, $6, $7 million more per year than we would if we do it right now. So that's a way to save money, but... Yeah, so there's a lot going on in Vikingsville right now, and I don't know, man. You know, I do have a lot of trust and faith in our current organization and Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi. I think they are. I think Kevin's a great coach, and I think Kwesi has a really good. He inherited a mess, taking over this job with what Spielman had done with all the cap and the veteran guys being paid and whatnot. So this is kind of a thing that when he took this job, it was going to have to happen this way. So I think he's kind of cleaning up the mess and whatnot. And I think Kwesi has a good handle on what's going on here. So I do have a lot of faith and trust in them that they can get this right. My biggest concern is my biggest question would be just what is the direction of this franchise going forward? Are we going to roll with Kirk? Or what is the plan at quarterback? Are we going to be looking to draft maybe somebody in the middle rounds of this year? Which I'm not a fan of because we don't have a ton of picks. And we have a lot of holes on this team. So I'm not a big fan of taking a quarterback in, say, the third round. Because I'd rather use that to address either like a linebacker or a center or a receiver, running back, or something like that, you know? Rather than a quarterback. If we're going into this year with Kirk Cousins as our quarterback, we're going to be competitive. So we're going to be going 8. I think we'll be either be like 8-9 or 9-8, 10-7. And if you're in that position, we're not going to have a pick good enough to go out next year and get a good quarterback. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I really like Kirk. I think Kirk is a good quarterback. I think you can win a Super Bowl with Kirk. But I just, you need to, if you're going to win it with him, you need to have the right team around him, which right now it's kind of hard to put that right team around him because he's getting paid so much. So if Kirk was willing to come back and take a discount, I think you can win with him, but if not, we need to find another quarterback, a young quarterback, a cheap quarterback. One I really like this year in the draft, actually, I really like him a lot. And if we were going to draft him, we'd probably have to take him in the third round and pick 87, is Dorian Thompson-Robinson out of UCLA. I think a lot of people are saying that he's like a fifth round, he could go in the fifth round. I don't think he will. I think he'll end up going to the third. I think he has a really high ceiling. I think he has a lot of upside. He's gotten better every single year in college. So there's something there that to work with, and I think that he could play that Jalen Hurts role, where he could be a guy that you can draft when you have a quarterback, in the middle rounds. So like how what the Eagles did with Carson Wentz, they had Wentz, they drafted Hurts, and then Wentz obviously was struggling to put in Hurts. Hurts took over. I think you could do that same type of thing, with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. You have Cousins play out this year, Thompson-Robinson behind him for this year, and then next year maybe have him take over. But then again, that's a big risk because you're hoping that a third round guy pans out, be it your starter in 24. So we'll see what happens. I'm trusting Kwesi and O'Connell have a good plan, because so far from what I've seen, they always seem to have a good plan. But yeah, so that's it, guys. Also make sure to go check out one of these other videos. You might like them. Give them a try, and then subscribe. Why not?